Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Napoleon, and today we are back with one of the most overpowered vehicles as of right now, and that is the recently added Electo. This is a British tank slash SPG slash tank destroyer that is very good at almost everything, and especially killing infantry. To be exact, killing blobs of infantry, because it does very well. So that's great. In this video, we're going to be talking about this tank slash almost APC-like SPG, or anti-tank gun carrier, and we are going to be talking about how this thing works. So without further ado, let's just get started. Starting with the history. The Electo number 1 was based on a British self-propelled gun design from the Tetrak light tank towards the end of the Second World War. It was fitted with the newly 3.75-inch howitzer on top of an open casemate configuration. As a matter of fact, there are a few versions of this. One of them, the Mark 1, has a 95mm gun, which is the one we have in game. The other one has a 6-pounder gun, which is the Mark 2, and the Mark 3 has a 25-pounder gun, and of course the Mark 4 has a 32-pounder gun, which was not built. To be exact, the Electo, which is the version that we have in game, which is the Mark 1, served with the British Army in Germany and the Middle East without seeing any military combat. Without further ado, let's just move on to the stats, because this is already pretty confusing if we go by the history. Starting with the stats. This thing has a crew of 4, which is actually pretty decent for its size. It has a 95mm gun, of which it's the Mark 3, and has about 48 rounds, so that's great. The hull armor is 6, side of 10, back of 10, bottom of 6, and turret armor, which it shouldn't really have a turret, has a front of 10, side of 4, back of 6, and top of 5. Needless to say, this thing is paper thin, and that is not exaggerating. And let's move on to the verdict. The verdict of this thing is very simple. This is a glass cannon. Glass indeed, and very cannon. The reason is because this has a 95mm gun. The 95mm gun is very good at taking out infantry. If you try to fight against tanks, this is also very good against tanks. What ends up happening if you fight against infantry is that this is a SPG slash howitzer. Everyone that you touch or even come close to touching with this gun is gonna die. So what you tend to have or do is to just use this at range, which makes sense because one of the things that comes with this thing is that it's open top, meaning that if an enemy sniper decides to shoot you, there's practically nothing you can do to stop it. So what you end up having to do is to stay away from the enemy, at least stay away in which the sniper range can't kill you, and then what ends up happening after that is that, well, you just stay away and lob 95mm HE slash HEAP shells at your enemies. This usually results in your enemies getting blown to bits, and usually is really good. Hence, what I suggest for this vehicle is to stay away from the front line, and it's pretty much going to be the exact same for the next German vehicle, which is the 15cm, and I highly just suggest that you stay away from the enemies and just bomb them. Of course, this thing is also very fast, which means that this thing can move to or use terrain very well. For example, I was going up on a hill, and it shocked me because I was realizing I was going very quickly up a hill, so that's great. What you can do with this speed and with this ability to lob shells is that you can go up heights and then just use the height advantage to bomb every enemy that's coming through. Needless to say, this is one of the best things that you can have in game. This is really good, and highly suggest that you get it. And without further ado, this is all it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.